Read about the history of your people, the origin of civilization, starting with black people? Come on, come on. Do you believe it? You do. The Caucasian people are a new people on our planet, and they were given time to rule, but not to rule in the way of God, but to rule opposite until the coming of God. When you research, you'll find that the pre-Adamites are the aboriginal people of the earth. Aboriginal means from or away from. Original means they were here from the beginning. Do you know who they are? Caucasian people are not called aboriginals. It's the darker people of the planet that are called aboriginals. Listen carefully now. The Honorable Elijah Muhammad said to us, "They call me a black nationalist." He didn't say he was or he was not. He just said, black is not national. Black is universal because everything started in darkness and then came out into the light. So if everything started in darkness and came out into the light, as you got light out of darkness, you got white out of black. Wait. The Caucasian people are a new people on our planet, and they were given time to rule, but not to rule in the way of God, but to rule opposite until the coming of God. This is not racism. There are white people who are knowledgeable that you.
Hello guys, welcome back to the channel. I just hope that you're doing fine and great wherever you are today. I hope that the videos that I present you are so educative and they make you see a perspective that are so important, especially in the black diaspora. Now in today's video, we are going to discuss about something important that Minister Louis Farrakhan has talked about, and for the longest time he has been pro-black people, and everything that he has been suggesting is for the growth and development of black people. And now in today's video, we are going to be exploring more of history, an history that if it hasn't been tapped to, then the United States have deliberately not let black folks know this, or at least if they know this, they know very well that they have been denied this truth. Minister Louis Farrakhan's assertion that black people are the true aboriginal people of the world is rooted in both historical and theological perspectives, which is true because we have scholars that have come out to argue pro this, especially black scholars, especially black theologists. Now, he argues that black people were the original pioneers of the civilization, and this truth cannot be erased despite centuries of distortion by white supremacy. His claim challenges mainstream narrative that places white Europeans at the center of history, technology, and civilization. Now, you get to know that when white people always had the platform of writing, of editing the truth, something that you're supposed to be knowing, but they deliberately decided to make it to favor their own people. And in this video today is going to shed light on who are the true aboriginal people and why are white folks not the aboriginal people as they sometimes call themselves as aboriginal. Minister Louis Farrakhan has a hot soup to share with us, and I hope you have your spoon and you have your You have your spoon and you're ready to sip the soup. Let's watch the video. I'll be back. As you know, these are presented Generic Stories, and I'm hoping to see you after the video. I'll be giving you my commentary in regards to this. Subscribe, like, share so that people like-minded like you can get to have this video. Let's watch. I'll be back.
So you and I and we, the darker people of the world, have to be raised. See, you say, I'm Mexican. Okay, that's a name you call yourself. Who's ruling Mexico? It's not the Mexican that is descended from the black and the Indian, is it? Who rules? Who rules in Colombia? In much of South America? You see them from Argentina. Now we have in Bolivia, Evo Morales. He's of the indigenous people. We have in Venezuela, Hugo Chavez. You have now the original rising, but they're rising against white world supremacy. Talk to me. If I'm speaking the truth and you know it is the truth, then don't get upset. You see. Now, I want to make a few quick points, because from the Genesis it talks about the coming of the Son of Man. The Quran does not use that language. The Bible does. Son of Man. As it was in the days of Noah, so shall it be at the coming of Son of Man. When Sodom and Gomorrah, a homosexual twin city in the Middle East, was destroyed by God, the scripture says, as it was in the days of Lot in Sodom and Gomorrah, so shall it be at the coming of the Son of Man. We're looking at a future time now, but a time when just the condition that caused God's destruction of the wicked in the days of Noah and Lot, that will be present in the world when the Son of Man comes. How was it during the days of Noah? The Bible says every imagination of the heart was continually to do evil. How was it in the days of Lot in Sodom and Gomorrah? The people had turned the natural use into something unnatural. So the Quran asks the question, what is this? That's God asking the question. What is this? A man coming to another man with lust in his heart as he should the female. Now look at our world. The world in which we live. The world that is not of God. Our little girls are falling on each other. Our boys the same. Just above. It can't interfere with this light, that's for sure. Are you all right? I am too. Now, the Son of Man is coming. In the 24th chapter of Matthew, it gives you his direction. He's coming out of the east, even unto the west. Those of you who are high masons and Shriners, see, the worshipful master, where does he sit? In the east. But he's facing the west. What's in the west? In the north country. It's a master architect that was hit in the head by some evildoers and is buried in a shallow grave. So Matthew says, as lightning shines from the east even unto the west, so shall the coming of the Son of Man be. For wheresoever the carcass is, a dead person, the body of a once great and living people, there shall the eagles be. And they've picked his flesh. And Ezekiel sees us as now dried bones in the valley. Would it disturb you to know that you are the virgin? That a great son is going to come out of you? You only think of a virgin as a female that has never been touched sexually by a man. But a virgin is also a people that have never had a true connection to God. And, and the Holy Ghost shall come upon her. And she will be conceived of a child whose name shall be called Jesus. You are the people. And it is that God would visit you under the title Son of Man. How did he become a son of man? Ever since the fall of Adam, human beings, mainly the people of color, have died mentally under the influence of the Caucasian world. Come on. Did you get hit in the head? Something happened to your head. What do you mean something happened to my head? Are you the ancient builders of civilization? Have you read about the history of your people? The origin of civilization starting with black people? Come on, come on. Do you believe it? You do? Where's the sign that it is true? Barack Obama accepted the oath of office standing on the steps of the Capitol, built by He's now living in the White House built by. How in the hell could you build that? And build the mansions in the South for the slave master and teach the white woman how to cook and dress her in silk and satin while you were in burlap. If you didn't know the art and the culture of civilized people, but what happened to you? You have been put to death, so you have eyes, but you don't see. You have ears, but we don't hear. We have a tongue. We can't speak because we have not heard, because we do not see. This Jesus, when he comes, he opens the eyes. See, just your being here, the few minutes that you've been here, eyes coming open now, come on. And I watch you. You have been listening. Your ears. Oh, you would like to sleep, I know, but you're kind of wide awake. You're hearing. And that means you'll soon be speaking what you're hearing. The blind, the deaf, and the dumb, and a man who's living on a horizontal level. See? You are just like the corpse that's in the funeral parlor. Somebody dresses it. Somebody washes it. It don't wash itself. Somebody moves it because it can't move. That's the way we are. You didn't dress yourself. Somebody somewhere in the world made these clothes as though we can't tailor, as though the cotton that we picked can't grow for us, that we could turn it into lint and cloth and make our own garments, as though the cow can't give us its hide that we can fix our shoes, though it was a black man who revolutionized the shoe industry. Look at yourself. You once were a builder, and now you're a beggar looking to the white man to do for you what you could get up and do for yourself. Now, he's the Son of Man because ever since we've been down, we've been longing to get back up. So the Honorable Elijah Muhammad taught us that whatever nature desires for us that we are deprived of, soon the nature, the law of nature, will bring forth from the womb of a woman a child born to satisfy a natural need that we have been deprived of. What have we been deprived of? Knowledge, wisdom, understanding, life, liberty, the true suit of happiness, freedom, justice, equality, building a home for yourself, family life, brotherly love among us as a people. We've been deprived of all of that. And you do long for that. You long to see yourself in a position that you can dream of, but you haven't actualized it. So when Brother Barack rose and said he wanted to run the house, I mean, I was one of the doubters. Not that he ain't qualified. I said, some of you will say, oh, I knew he was going to be president. Yeah, right. If you know this world like we who've been in it long enough know it, we didn't believe that our brother was going to make it. But he made it, didn't he? How did you feel? I mean, just be honest. How did you feel when you woke up or went to sleep the night of the 4th of November and we watched that TV and the votes were coming in? And at about 11 o'clock, Barack Hussein Obama. Notice the name. Not Jim Dandy, Harry McGillicuddy, John Jones, Lucius Jackson, but Barack Hussein Obama, 44th president of the United States of America. I'm sitting at the TV, me and Khadijah. I look at our people, I see you rejoicing, and I'm crying because I love you and I want to see you lifted. And when I see that Barack has lifted you from where you were to where you are and given you hope and possibility, I weep for joy, because I know this is a genie that can't be put back in the bottle again. We're on the move now. We're on the rise now. Respite me till the day when they are raised. Now you're being raised degree by degree. And the end of their world is here now. So last Sunday I said Barack Obama inherited the fall of America. He inherited the collapse of her institutions. He inherited the end of her world. Now, there's some work for us to do. Last week, I talked about the international bankers and how they plotted against America from Europe. The Rothschilds, the Warburgs, some of these that have recently collapsed their fathers, international bankers. You may not have known it, but it's against the Constitution for anybody to print or coin or mint the money of the United States of America except the U.S. Congress. But these international bankers with some treasonous senators on Jekyll Island off the coast of Georgia plotted and set up the Federal Reserve Act. And on December the 23rd, 1913, a law was passed in Congress that violated the Constitution, that gave international banking families the right to print the money that you have in your pocket. I have a document that shows how America got from $1,400,000,000 in debt in 1913 to now $65.5 trillion in debt. Listen to this. How many of you own your home or are buying your home? Would you raise your hands, please? Okay. Did you know that the debt of America is more than the value of every building that is on 3,000 by 2,000 square miles called the United States of America? As I said last week, right now the FBI building is up for sale. The Drug Enforcement Agency has already been sold. And what others are doing, foreign companies buying up taxpayer dollar buildings and leasing them back to the government. America is broke. Very, very broke. And no matter how much hope you have in the stimulus package, I'm here to tell you what the Honorable Elijah Muhammad said. He said that foreign wars and divine plagues are destroying the economy and the American way of life. Now, it rained quite hard yesterday and today. And see, God, the one who makes rain, hail, snow, and earthquake, he hasn't let up since Barack got in. In fact, the plagues are coming harder and faster. So how can you think a stimulus package is enough when one disaster, tornado wiping out a town, in Oklahoma a fire about to burn up a whole town, floods, global warming? The messenger would not buy anything on the East or West Coast because he said it's going to be pushed in to the center. Now Mr. Gore is saying that as the poles begin to warm up and the Arctic area begins to melt, and it builds the water on the east coast and the west coast. It begins to flood out the coastline. What did the Quran say? It said that Allah would curtail her of her sides. God is working today. His world is finished. And if you stay a part of it, you go down with it. Don't you think that the enemy is not plotting to take the people that God is after down with the enemy? Do you know that you are being held right now as a hostage? You know when somebody takes a hostage, they hold the hostage in the line of fire so that the person who's firing will see the hostage and miss the real one that they're shooting at. You say, well, how am I a hostage? Ain't nobody got me. Oh, yeah. If they got this, they got you. Do they have you? Look what the scripture says. Shall the prey be taken from the mighty, and the lawful captive be delivered? See, you are lawful captive. The 13th Amendment made you a citizen. Ain't nobody ask us nothing. Did you vote to be a citizen? You didn't, did you? Let's make the citizens. Excuse the language, but that's the way they talk. Let's make the citizens. We're going to amend the Constitution. They were 3/5 when we were arguing about representation. Now we're going to make them citizens. But we got a catchphrase here. What's the catchphrase? Don't get charged with a felonious charge that you are found guilty of, then all your citizenship reverts to slave status. So when you go to jail, whether you're innocent or guilty, and they ask you to plead on a felony, they come at you and say, well, if you plead, we'll give you this. If you plead, we'll give you that. But once the felony is by your name, you are no longer a citizen. You are deprived now. So they work you for the industrial complex that's tied to the prison. You get nothing, and they're making money off of you. Then they turn you into a sissy and inject you with AIDS. So you come out of jail messing up your girlfriend with your stuff that you got while you were incarcerated. Oh yeah, my son told me to drink some water. I think I should. Now look, when the Federal Reserve Act was passed, then banking families print the money. The dollar used to be backed by silver. If you look at the dollar years ago, it used to be called a silver certificate. It said pay to the bearer on demand. $1 in silver. You don't have silver in circulation today. That mess that you call a quarter, half a dollar, that ain't no silver, brother. Used to be. Not now. No silver. Nothing backing the dollar. So when Abraham Lincoln decided he was not going to allow the bankers in America, not Federal Reserve now, just bankers, to loan him the money to fight the Civil War, he produced greenbacks. It didn't have nothing backing it but faith in your government. And he angered the international bankers, namely the Rothschilds. After that, he was shot to death in the Ford Theater, and he escaped in a route that was already prepared, and then in a barn. Now just think about it. A man in a barn, nobody in the barn but him, all these soldiers outside the barn. He's in the barn with nothing but his weapon. Then they burned the barn down with him in it. Well, after the body's all charred and fixed up, they bury him in a grave right on down in Maryland. But recently the family wanted to exhume the body, so I read. And high officials, somebody, would not permit it because Wilkes Booth was a patsy and there was a conspiracy inside the government. Do you know what happened to John Fitzgerald Kennedy? You didn't know? Oh. See, JFK, our first Catholic president. John was the most charismatic of the presidents and had great support from the American people, and he felt that he could defy the international bankers and get away with it. He wasn't just killed because he was favoring some rights for black people. The president has power to just, with an executive order, make a law. I'm almost finished. Executive Order 11110, signed into law early 1963. Where with the stroke of his pen, he took away the power of the Federal Reserve to print the money. And he, John Kennedy, boy, this is something. He put $4 billion into circulation in $2 and $5 denominations, but all $4 billion was backed by silver. 6 months later, like it was with Lincoln. He was shot down in Dealey Plaza. You see, the international bankers must not be defied because they run presidents and kings. You didn't hear me. Did you see the trilogy, The Godfather? How many of you saw The Godfather? The third one, where the Catholic bank, see, it was a bank, wasn't it? And the Pope himself.
Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. I hope you had Minister Louis Farrakhan's perspective in regards to who are the Aboriginal people. And as I said earlier in the video, we have always been tried to lied to for the longest time. And now this leaves us with a couple of questions. Now that whites are not the true Aboriginal, of course it's blacks, but we might be asking ourselves what the meaning of Aboriginal in the view of Minister Louis Farrakhan. Now, when Farrakhan says that black people are the true Aboriginal, he is referring to the idea that the first human beings on earth were black, which is true, you know that. This aligns with scientific findings in genetics and anthropology, which allows all modern humans to trace their lineage back to Africa. The oldest human fossils, including Lucy, that's Australopithecus afarensis, found in Ethiopia, confirm that early human originated in Africa. The out of Africa theory, widely accepted in scientific community, supports the claim that black people were the first humans to populate the earth. And I'll tell you that most of, sorry to say, but white folks don't always agree with this because their cognitive dissonance, something that has been taught to them for the longest time. They believe that they are the greatest. They believe that they own everything. Of course, they had the privilege to own and control factors of production, to own and control a pen and a paper, something that they did to rewrite Africa's history, to rewrite blacks' history. While we are still blessed, we are still endowed to have few Africans, philosophers, professors who are still trying to illuminate black folks, to show them the truth, right? And this is the perspective that Minister Louis Farrakhan tries to give his people. We are going to say that, however, Farrakhan's argument go beyond science. He is not just saying that black people were the first humans, but also that they were first builders of civilization. He challenges the Eurocentric portrayal of history, which often suggests that civilization began with Greeks and Romans. Instead, he points to Africans and indigenous civilization that predate European ones by thousands of years. This topic has always been discussed for the longest time. White people posit that they believe that they were the first people, and bringing civilization, they were the first people to also bring civilization. But at the end of the day, if you sit down and look at the earliest kingdoms, look at the Vikings, look at the type of life, how nasty they were, will you tell me that those people were civilized? I'll let that to you, because look at the African type of life, and I'll use the Vikings as my reference point. These people were killing people like animals. These people didn't know how to bathe. These people were dirty, like they were nasty, right? But look at the African type of life. We celebrated the community. We celebrated the unity until the colonizer came and disrupted this by starting to sell people to the United States. So that explains a lot of who really civilized who, right? Now, let's have a talk on black people as the pioneers of civilization. Farrakhan's emphasis that black people were responsible for the earliest advancement in knowledge, governance, architecture, and spirituality. Ancient African civilizations such as the Kemet, which is in Egypt, Nubia, Mesopotamia, and the Mali Empire were centers of learning and innovation before Europe emerged from the Dark Age. In Kemet, black Africans developed advanced mathematics, medicine, writing, science, which is hieroglyphics, and architectural marvels like the pyramid structures that modern engineers still struggle to replicate, but they can't, because the knowledge, because the science that began in Egypt, Kemet, which still white people will come and tell you that Egypt or Egyptians are not Africans. Does that even make sense to you? It doesn't. But at the end of the day, we have scholars, we have black scholars who come out and shares with people, and they shed light to all these topics that have always been whitewashed, right? Now, the Moors, another example of black pioneers, ruled Spain for nearly 800 years, that is 711 to 1492 AD, and brought Europe out of its intellectual stagnation. They introduced libraries, streetlights, medicine, and universities at a time when most of Europe was illiterate. This contribution is often downplayed in Western history books, reinforcing Farrakhan's point that white historians have attempted to erase black people's historical impact. It's true. Black folks, especially who are called the Moors, they are the one who ruled Spain. They ruled Spain, they bought libraries, they taught people, they taught Europeans, they moved them from their dark age, right? And they showed them light. But history books won't tell you that, because to them, they believe that they are the greatest, they believe that they are the best, they believe that they are the ones who came with the Bible to preach to Africans, to illuminate Africans, while it's the opposite. Let's talk about the erasure and rewriting of history. One of the major arguments Minister Louis Farrakhan makes is that history has been deliberately altered to make it seem as if white Europeans were the sole architects of civilization. This is evident in how historical figures and societies have been whitewashed. For example, Jesus Christ, an individual from the Middle East, is often depicted as a white European, despite biblical descriptions suggesting otherwise. Similarly, ancient Egyptians, whose artwork and mummies show African features, are frequently portrayed as white or Middle Eastern in modern media. Just recognizing that they were black is a problem because of what is called cognitive dissonance. Now, Farrakhan asserts that this distortion is part of large strategy to keep black people mentally enslaved. If black people do not know their true history, they are more likely to accept inferiority and look to white society for validation. He argues that reclaiming historical truth is not just about pride. It is a necessary step towards liberation. And one last thing, which is important: no one can take this fact away that blacks are the one who civilized the world and the true aboriginals. When Farrakhan says that no one can take that away, he is referring to undeniable fact that black people's role in history cannot be erased, no matter how much white supremacists attempt to distort it. Despite colonization, slavery, cultural erasure, the evidence of black excellence remains visible in artifacts, ancient texts, and oral traditions. These are presented in Jintook Stories, and I'm hoping that you are fine. If you're watching this video for the first time, I'll most definitely ask you, subscribe to the channel, join our membership, and really get to see what we can offer you. Until then, let me see you in your next video. Peace, love, and harmony. Salute.